A storm brews on the horizon, the sky darkens, and in the heart of the battlefield, two legendary warriors stand face to face. On one side, Thor, the god of thunder, his mighty hammer crackling with divine lightning, ready to unleash the fury of Asgard. On the other, Wonder Woman, the Amazonian warrior, her blade forged by the gods, her will unbreakable, prepared to fight until the very end. This isn't just a battle. It's a war between gods and champions, between raw power and masterful skill. Lightning strikes, swords clash, the very earth trembles. But when the dust settles, only one can remain standing. Will the indomitable spirit of the Amazon overcome the storm? Or will the god of thunder prove why he reigns supreme? Prepare for an electrifying, bone-shattering showdown unlike anything you've ever seen. Watch till the end to witness the ultimate victor. You won't believe how this battle unfolds. Stay tuned. The air was thick with tension. The sky, an ominous swirl of darkened clouds. The battlefield stretched endlessly, a wasteland of jagged rocks and scorched earth. This was a place where titans clashed, where the echoes of war had long shaped the very fabric of reality. Thunder rumbled overhead as Thor, the god of thunder, descended from the heavens. His arrival was heralded by the roar of a storm, the crackling energy of Mjolnir illuminating the sky. His armor, forged in the heart of a dying star, gleamed with an ethereal glow, and his red cape billowed in the wind. The presence of the Asgardian warrior was undeniable, a force of raw power and divinity. Opposite him, standing unwavering amidst the brewing storm, was Wonder Woman. The Amazonian princess radiated an aura of unwavering confidence. Her golden tiara gleamed beneath the shrouded sun, and the lasso of truth coiled at her waist like a living serpent. The polished silver of her indestructible bracelets reflected the flashing lightning, while the sword of Athena remained tightly gripped in her hand. Her stance was poised yet relaxed, the mark of a warrior born for battle. They stood in silence, both acknowledging the challenge that lay ahead. This was no ordinary fight. This was a clash between gods and warriors, between two beings forged for combat, each embodying power beyond mortal comprehension. The first move would determine the flow of battle. A gust of wind swept between them, carrying the charged scent of an impending storm. Thor moved first. With a mighty swing, he launched Mjolnir toward his opponent. The hammer cut through the air like a divine missile, shrouded in arcs of crackling energy. Wonder Woman reacted instantly. Her reflexes, honed to perfection by years of Amazonian training, allowed her to evade the oncoming weapon by a mere breath. The hammer crashed into the earth behind her, shattering the ground and sending a violent shockwave rippling outward. Dust and debris exploded into the sky. She did not wait. In a blur, she charged forward, covering the battlefield in an instant. Her sword arced toward Thor's chest, a strike meant to test his defense. Thor met the attack with a resounding clash of metal. Mjolnir intercepted her blade, the impact sending sparks flying. The force of her strike pressed against his arm, but Thor stood his ground. She was strong, stronger than he had expected. With a surge of power, Thor pushed forward, sending Wonder Woman skidding backward. She barely had time to regain her footing before Mjolnir returned to Thor's hand, summoned with a thought. The battle had truly begun. Thor swung again, each strike carrying the weight of 1,000 storms. Wonder Woman met him blow for blow, her speed compensating for his raw strength. She weaved between his attacks, countering with precise, measured slashes of her sword. Every impact shook the battlefield. Mjolnir clashed against divine steel, each collision sending shockwaves through the air. Neither warrior yielded, their movements a deadly dance of power and grace. Thor unleashed a sudden burst of lightning, the bolts snaking toward Wonder Woman like vengeful spirits. She raised her bracelets, deflecting the attacks in bursts of golden light. The energy surged around her, the force staggering but not breaking her. She retaliated, throwing her shield with masterful precision. The golden disc cut through the air, spinning toward Thor's head. With a swift motion, he deflected it with Mjolnir, sending it hurtling into the distance. Their battle had escalated beyond mere weapons. This was a test of endurance, skill, and will. Thor took a step back, his eyes glowing with divine energy. He raised Mjolnir to the sky, summoning the full might of the storm. Thunder rumbled like an enraged beast, and the heavens wept fire. Then, in a single motion, he unleashed his fury. A torrent of lightning cascaded downward, engulfing the battlefield in blinding white fire. The ground sizzled, the air screamed, and the world seemed to tremble beneath the wrath of the storm. But Wonder Woman did not fall. She rushed through the tempest, defying the very storm itself. Her hair whipped wildly, her armor glowed from the heat, but she did not falter. Her sword sliced through the lightning, cutting a path toward Thor. Then, in a burst of unimaginable speed, she was upon him. Thor barely had time to react as she landed a devastating blow to his chest. The force sent him flying, carving a deep trench in the battlefield where he crashed. The god of thunder had been struck down. For a moment, silence. The battlefield stood still. Then, slowly, Thor rose. His breathing was heavy, his armor singed, but his resolve was unbroken. Wonder Woman stood across from him, her gaze unwavering. She had bested him in speed and precision, but Thor was far from finished. He clenched Mjolnir, and with an earth-shaking roar, he unleashed his might once more. Lightning surged through his veins, his form glowing with raw power. This time, he would not hold back. Thor launched forward with incredible speed, his body a blur of power. Mjolnir struck Wonder Woman's sword, but this time, the force was overwhelming. The battlefield quaked under the impact. The very air split apart from the collision, and the energy unleashed sent shockwaves rippling outward. Wonder Woman was strong, but Thor was relentless. He pressed the attack. Each strike came faster, heavier, infused with the full fury of the storm. Wonder Woman's defenses began to falter. Her movements, though still precise, became slower under the sheer force of Thor's onslaught. Then came the decisive moment. Thor feinted, a false opening. Wonder Woman took the bait, lunging forward. But in that instant, Mjolnir was already moving, arcing toward her with unstoppable force. The blow landed. A deafening explosion of energy erupted. Wonder Woman was sent hurtling across the battlefield, her body crashing into the ruins of a fallen temple. Smoke and dust filled the air. Thor stood, chest rising and falling heavily. His grip on Mjolnir tightened as he approached the fallen warrior. Wonder Woman stirred, struggling to rise. But the battle had taken its toll. Her strength, while immense, had been overpowered. Thor halted before her, his gaze filled with both respect and solemnity. He had won, but Wonder Woman had not been defeated in spirit. She met his gaze, her breathing heavy but steady. Even in the face of defeat, she remained unbowed, a warrior until the very end. The storm began to recede, the skies clearing. The battlefield, once a chaotic storm of destruction, now lay in eerie silence. Thor extended a hand, not in mockery, but in acknowledgement, a warrior's respect. Wonder Woman hesitated for only a moment before accepting. She stood, battered but unbroken. The battle was over. The god of thunder had emerged victorious, but both warriors had proven their worth. In the end, they were not just gods or warriors. They were legends, and legends never truly fall. The end.